Keon Coleman, Malik. You got Trey Harris. You got me. You got so many guys right now that's balling on a big stage.
They couldn't stop, bro. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, bro. They couldn't stop the run. It was crazy.
We get to see the best of both worlds. We know they can handle it at home with the Cajun fans screaming for them. Let's see what they can do when the Kennesaw State fans are screaming at them.
11 o'clock. This is a big rich town.
Yeah, Thursday. I'm watching Thursday, man.
I just come from the post. Hold up, before you get to watching this video, let me talk to you for a second. Hit that bell down below and subscribe to the Fitz Take podcast YouTube channel so you'll know when every episode is dropping or if something has been posted on this page. Also, be sure to follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. Now back to the episode. What's good, everyone, and welcome into another episode of the Fitz Take podcast. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. He's Elijah Nixon, and we're in this thing. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel over there on our social medias. Please subscribe to YouTube. Follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms as well. That will be linked down in the description, and also be able to see everything that we've got going on for the show. Also, follow my production company, One Way Productions, over there on Instagram as well. That is the hub of what gets us going, everything for the show and things of that nature, and keeping up with things in the sports world. It's another midweek show here, Elijah. We got another week in the books of football season and another week of games going on ahead of us, man. How you feeling about it?
Oh, man, I'm excited. I mean, we kicked off college, 2 weeks ago? I mean, we had bigger games this week, but then you got the NFL this week, and you already know I'm excited, especially with my Rams taking on Detroit late Sunday night. I can't wait for that one. I felt like that's a year. It felt like a year ago, but it happened in January when Detroit beat us in the playoff game. So to open the season up, I'm excited for that. But NFL football in general, man. Thursday with the Chiefs and Ravens, and I just can't wait for this stuff to kick off finally, because, I mean, it's a long season, but it's a great one.
Absolutely, man. So without further ado, let's hop into take number one, which is our first play, and we're talking Louisiana facing off with Kennesaw State. Head coach Michael Desimo had his media availability on Monday, and he had a pretty strong statement. Let's take a listen in at it.
You shouldn't overlook anyone, and that's. You know, until we prove otherwise, we're a 6-7 football team, and we haven't done crap to do it otherwise. We've won one game this year. So if we want to be looked at differently, then we're going to have a different type of season. So for us, I'm telling you right now, if anyone in our building is overlooking this football team, then we got some real issues. We shouldn't.
If anybody in this building is overlooking this team, we got some real issues, because we ain't done crap. He said we ain't done crap. He said it with his chest. I posted that video on social media, man. People are still talking about that. They saying that this team feels different because this coach has a different mentality. I love it. I got to hop right into it, man. I absolutely love Coach Desimo making it abundantly clear to his team, to the public, to everyone that cares about the Raging Cajuns and to the nation, that this team understands that they've gone 6-7 for 2 seasons in a row. They understand that they have not won a bowl game since the 2021 season when they went 13-1. They understand that right now they were, I believe, picked to finish 5th there in the Sun Belt or whatever it was. They were picked to not win it. I can't remember what the exact number is. They understand that people are overlooking them right now, and they are trying to get things back to the way that they were. So he's making it clear. Yes, we went 1-0. We beat Grambling, which was a team that you're supposed to beat, but we cannot come in here, look at Kennesaw State, and expect to just beat them just because the money line says that we're 14.5-point favorites. He says we got to go in and earn the right to win. Go in, do your week of preparation, and then go out and play the football game to make sure that you come out on top. I absolutely love when a coach sets the tone, but then what I love even more is when the team is able to back it up. When he's able to talk it and they able to walk it, that's a dangerous combination there, because now that coach know he could go to the podium and say anything, his team going to back him up. So he could go in there and say, we going to whoop them boys, and his team go whoop them boys, oh man, it's over with then. That's the best feeling in the world.
Well, and I completely agree because like he said, they didn't prove anything yet. Desimo in his 3 years here now,
Mm-hmm.
uh, 14-13, I want to say
14-14, man.
14-14, and that's not it's not a losing coach, but it's not a winning coach either. And like we said, we want winners. He understands what his task is this year. 6-7 is not going to cut it. Anything under a Sun Belt championship is not going to cut it. And the way that he's talking, anything that he's not hosting a Sun Belt championship game in that Cajun field is not going to cut it. And I respect what Desimo is saying with that because, like you said, man, it's nothing more dangerous than a coach talking that talk and the players walking that walk. So, we seen it last week. We talked about the key word. They were aggressive. This week, we hope the same thing. They stay aggressive on the offensive and defensive side of the football. But the one thing that I really, really enjoy is that he's not content with a win against Grambling State. Because I'm not even content with the win with Grambling State. No offense to Grambling State, but when you have a bigger and better roster, you're supposed to take care of business and handle business the way that they did last Saturday night. Now, this time around, you got to do the same thing against Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State is another HBCU. It's another program that's out there in Atlanta, and then now this time they're on the road. So we get to see the best of both worlds. We know they can handle it at home with the Cajun fans screaming for them. Let's see what they can do when the Kennesaw State fans are screaming at them. So I want to see if that works out for them, and then just that's going to be the real thing for me. Can they do it on the road? They got a long schedule ahead of them, but one game at a time, and they got to take care of business out there in Atlanta.
Absolutely, man. So if you had to just give early keys to victory, early things that you are assessing of what you think this team needs to do to come out on top, what do you think some of those things are that UL needs to do to ultimately come out on top when they leave Kennesaw, Georgia?
Stay aggressive. I mean, that's the only thing. Stay aggressive and play your game. Honestly, I think with them being out there, last week there's a play action to open the game that go over the top. I'm not saying Dez do that again, but at the same time, I expect him to do that a couple of times throughout the ball game, going over the top, finding that soft spot in the defense, and just burning the roof off of it, man. The Cajuns are extremely talented. We seen that last Saturday. But the thing is, they just have to play their game, be aggressive, and not play to lose. Because again, we seen games where they blew the lead in the fourth quarter, or they blew the lead in general, and just never really recover from anything. So let's just hope that they stay aggressive. That's the only thing that with Kennesaw State. I don't see anything. I don't see Kennesaw State walking away with a win unless the Cajuns really drop the ball. What about you, Fitz?
Absolutely. I think the two things, and I've said it on this show before, and especially now on the road, when you go on the road, the two things that you have to do is you have to have a run game and you have to play great defense. Because if you can run the football, it sets up everything else. If you can run the football, you control the pace of the game. If you run the football, you wear defenses down. You keep the opposing offenses off the field, and you ultimately control the game. And then once you punch it in and score, say you go out and you get the ball first, and you go with a 7-minute drive. Okay, that knocks the quarter down to 8 minutes. And now your defense goes out and they play rejuvenated. They get a 3 and out or they get a stop. You get the ball back. You go with another 6-7 minute drive. The quarter over then. You didn't cut the game ultimately in half because you're able to run the football. Now, am I saying to, drain the clock and wait till the 2 seconds and then snap it? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when you're able to run the football, when you're able to control the pace of the game, whether that's wanting to go up tempo or if that's wanting to drain the clock all the way down, you're able to do those things because you control the pace of the game. And then, like I said, play great defense. Continue to apply pressure to Kennesaw State's quarterback. Continue to make them uncomfortable. Pull him off of his spot. Make it to where, he's not able to make easy throws. Stop the run. Do all the things that you need to do to ultimately get yourselves off the field and play well on third downs. If you can win the third down margin, if you can win the turnover battle, if you can run the football well, that's a recipe for a win. It's always going to be a recipe for a win in my eyes.
I agree. Go UL, baby. Go UL. I expect that at the end of the game. So I don't think this game will be a close contest at all. Like I said, I just think UL could pull this one off, man.
Absolutely. The Raging Cajuns will face off with the Kennesaw State Owls on Saturday, September the 7th at 6 o'clock p.m. It will air on ESPN Plus. UL on Sunday, when we taped this show, they were a 15-point favorite. And then Monday, when it aired, they were a 14.5-point favorite. As of Tuesday of us recording it, they are currently a 15.5-point favorite going into that matchup. So the money line is saying that the Cajuns should win this game by 2 touchdowns. But like you heard Coach Dez say, we haven't done crap. So none of the money line, no line, any of that. None of that stuff matters as they head into that game. So let's hop ahead into take number 2 as we're going to make some forward progress with LSU as they are still licking their wounds after their loss to USC, a 27-20 loss there in the Sunday night matchup when they were there out in Las Vegas. After the game, when we were recording this episode, BK was at the podium. So we had seen this clip that we're about to show y'all now. We hadn't seen it just yet. But there in postgame, Coach Kelly was pretty mad. Let's see how mad he was.
We had some guys played their butts off tonight, and we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach. We had some guys play.
Bro, I want to make a meme out of that so bad. Like,
It's out there. It's out there.
When they reenact the TikTok, I would just want to use those lines and be like, when your girl make chicken Alfredo again, we eating the same thing again. I mean, it's again. I love that thing, bro. Yeah.
You got it already, bro. Twitter work fast. Twitter work fast. So if you do something, it's out there. So they got him already. It's out there. And that's going to be used all season long. Unfortunately, BK, I understand the frustration. I understand it. I understand you go in there and you prepare all off season. You think that you know your team going in, but you never really know until the bullets start flying. And so you get in there, the bullets start flying, and ultimately you lose the battle. Like, I understand the frustration. And for him, every head coach is defined by what their wins and losses record is, right? And currently, his win and loss record in openers is 0 for 3. They lost in the opener to Florida State in the Superdome. They lost out in Orlando. They got mollywopped. And now they lose here to USC by 7 points. So for him, he's wondering and trying to figure out, what is it about my team where I cannot get them to get off to a great start? That is very frustrating because everybody in the country, from Pee Wee to the NFL, everybody wants to start the season 1-0 because that sets you up, that gives you confidence, that has you feeling pretty good, and that allows you to build off of things because then you have game tape that you can look at where you can make improvements, where you can make adjustments, and you can build upon the season. But when you start 0 for 1, your adversity is right out the gate because now their process isn't changing. And for all the LSU fans out there that are banging on the table right along with Brian Kelly saying fire him and all of that, y'all need to sit down, okay? You coming off of a season where didn't LSU win 10 games last season?
Mm-hmm.
They won 10 games, okay? I understand what the standard is. The standard is to win championships, to compete for that. Not even compete, because LSU fans have a unrealistic expectation that every year you're supposed to win the championship. I get that. That's the expectation that you want to have as a fan base. But ultimately, what you have to understand is that it ain't going to always go in your favor. But what you can do is not about what happens to you. It's always about the response. How are you going to respond? Now, obviously, the response, the opponent that you're going to be facing is one that you're going to beat the snot out of. We know they're going to beat Nicholls 100-0. We know that, okay? But the point is that if your team is able to come out and play inspired after that, is when you really can be able to gauge what type of team that you truly have. Last year, they came out and they did beat Grambling in their next game, but there was a lot of moments where we started to realize this defense might not be good because Grambling was eating on them boys in a lot of the moments, especially early on. Again, they won the ball game, but you were able to see something. So now it's about how is LSU going to come out and respond? How is LSU going to come out and figure out how do they get this thing back on track? And then as they prepare to go into SEC play, how can they set themselves up to go 1-1? And then when they play South Carolina, how can they go 2-1? And then when they play UCLA, how can they go 3-1? And so on and so forth until you get yourself back into the college football playoff picture.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It is frustrating, and I think LSU fans do have unrealistic expectations of what this team should be year in and year out. But I'm going to say this, though. Just moving forward with now they got to play Nicholls. This is the type of week where I say the minor things is the battle for you this week. Last week you had, 10 penalties? Cut it down to 2. You want to make sure you're efficient on third down. Defensively, how often can you get off the grass? Those minor things is what wins the game, like against Nicholls. Because if Garrett Nussmeier come out and throw 7 touchdowns, we're gonna be like, well, that's kind of expected. I mean, if you come out and beat Nicholls 75-6, I mean, that's kind of expected. If you come out there and the starter's not playing after halftime, that's kind of expected. So right now, what you want to do is just win the small things, and which is the penalties. You cut that down. Make sure that you're efficient on third down. Making sure to see how much time you get on the first down, the time of possession. Playing that ball game and getting in a rhythm of stuff like that. Because, again, this is what's going to get you ready for your next couple of games, especially as you head into the SEC play. So if LSU does stuff like that, that's a win for me. I'm not looking at the scoreboard next week. LSU, I'm not judging you by the scoreboard at all next week. I am judging you about how clean you can play, how efficient you can play, how defensively you can get off the grass, and things of that nature. So, yes, be frustrated. Take it out on Nicholls this week, but take it out in a way of making sure that you're monitoring every mistake that you had against USC a week ago.
Absolutely. LSU falls in the AP poll to number 18, which is not a bad fall after losing to the number 23 team in the country. I'm not sure how far up USC moved up in the rankings. I'm just looking at on ESPN where LSU has been able to change their ranking. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
I think like 18, right?
To my USC?
No, I don't know what USC is.
Let's see. USC moved up to number 13, so they got a huge boost. That was a big win for them. That now puts them right on the porch of the college football playoff conversation. So these games are truly important, no doubt about it. But LSU will try to right their wrongs as they will face off with the Nicholls State Colonels on September the 7th at 6:30. That game will air on ESPN Plus and on the SEC Network. Let's stay here in college football as Monday night. Florida State faced off against Boston College.
I got to pull up this stat.
And they lost the game. Oh, you ain't got to pull it up. It was a lot of running yards to not a lot of running yards. Florida State lost their second straight game of the season. 28-13, I believe, was the final, losing to Boston College. In the process, Florida State is now out of the AP Top 25. They began the season in the preseason top 10. They became one of, I think ESPN pulled the stat up, I think it was one of 5 other teams to start the preseason in the top 10 and to fall out and start 0 for 2 in the season. And Florida State had done it again, or done it previously. I think it was like 2018 they had it on the list. And ultimately what the issue was of why they lost that game was the same reason that they lost the first one to Georgia Tech, because they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop, bro. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, bro. They couldn't stop the run. It was crazy. They, it was. I was appalled. Like I said when they beat Georgia, when Georgia Tech beat them. I love watching upsets, but to see the same thing happen a week apart, it's like, bro, what were y'all doing? What were y'all doing during the week? What was happening? What kind of preparations was going on? What were y'all doing in practices? What were the inside drills happening? Where you get in the box and it's just the linebackers and the D line versus the quarterback, running back, and the offensive line. In them drills, what is y'all doing? Are y'all thudding up? Are you filling your gaps? What's happening? Because when you get to the game, if you are doing it correctly in practice, it ain't translating to the game. I don't know why not, but it ain't translating. You need to figure out why. Because right now, you out of the college football playoff picture. You out of the top 25. You started the season in the top 10. That's got to be fixed now. And these type of games, by no means am I calling for Mike Norvell's job, but I'm stating the obvious. Performances like this, if it continues to happen, is what get coaches fired. Is what get coaches called into the athletic director's office and say, let me get your playbook, coach, and them keys, and your headset. Pass that on over. We got to figure this out, bro. They got to figure that out. That is, wow. What you got, E?
52 carries for 263 yards.
Like, who they think they was playing? Air Force? Army? Navy? Hey, come on, bro.
They had a total of 263 yards rushing. And Boston College barely had over. That was 263 yards rushing for Boston College. Boston College only had 106 yards passing. And in today's game, that is unheard of. But let me get to it. Robichaux had 19 carries for 85 yards. Ward had 12 carries for 77 yards. Castellanos had 14 carries for 73 yards. At this point, give me a carry, coach. let me talk the rock against this defense, because there is no way that these guys, 3 different guys, had almost hit that century mark. 3 guys almost hit the century mark. There was a couple yards away, 20 to 15 yards shy for some of them. But at the end of the day, you cannot win any football game like this. Now, I will say this, though. I'm not going to bash them too much, but stuff like this makes me sad for Florida State, and I'm going to tell you why. Only for the simple fact that last year they had a team that, was arguably one of those teams. And like we just talked about with LSU, you're not going to win it every year. I think last year they had a chance to at least make that playoff and make a run until Travis went down, and that's what really set them apart. And they didn't compete against Georgia. Nobody played against Georgia in that game. So with that being said, I feel bad for Florida State, because teams like that usually is one, and in the next 10 years, you will never see something like that for another 10 years. So, you know what? I feel bad for Florida State in that aspect, but not with these butt kickings, because at the end of the day, you still got to compete against some of these guys. You got to compete against these guys. But I feel bad in that sense, because I know we're still judging them off of last year, and everybody's going to be like, well, they wasn't ready. Well, that was last year. Last year's team was completely different, as you can see. So at the end of the day, I do feel bad for the Seminoles. I'm not going to lie about that. I really do. So I'm not going to kill you too much, but I do expect from here on out to compete. Florida State has to compete, because if not, this was the worst top 10 team I ever seen to start the season in my life. Like, you should have never been ranked at this point. You should have never even seen an AP poll, a coaches poll, media poll, whatever poll they was going to give you. So a telephone poll. You should have never seen nothing. At the end of the day, that's where I'm at with Florida State. But I really do feel bad, because we're judging them off of last year, and last year was last year. This year, they're not the same team. DJ is throwing the ball to the other team, the other pair of fans, the people that's tailgating. He's not throwing it to his teammates, but he's throwing it to everybody else. but his teammates. And that's what, they probably need a quarterback change to get themselves back motivated again, because that team is going to step to the beat of the drum of that quarterback. And DJ right now is playing like poo. So they probably have to put somebody else under center for the Seminoles by week 3, by next week.
Florida State has 3 more ranked opponents that they will face off with. Clemson, who is ranked number 25, depending on how they finish, they might not be ranked when they meet up in that game. Miami, who's ranked number 12 right now, they got Notre Dame in the third to last game of the season. And then they close out the year against Florida, which, according to Twitter, that game might be on Tubi. Right? Where the route they going, this ain't looking good. But Florida State has an opportunity to try to get back on track. They will face off with Memphis. They have a bye this week, so they have 2 weeks to figure out how to stop the run. They got 2 weeks. They face off with Memphis in an 11 a.m. kick on the 14th of September, and that game will be on ESPN. Memphis is currently 1-0 on the season, and if Florida State starts off the season 0-3, oh boy, they are in for a rude awakening for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hop into take number 3 and let's fly out as we have a special guest hopping on the podcast here. It is TCU wide receiver, STM alum, and Lafayette native, Jack Bech. Jack, thank you so much for hopping on the pod, man.
Man, of course, I'm so happy I could do it.
Absolutely, man. So, you had a very great start to the season there against Stanford. You had 6 catches, 139 yards, and a touchdown. Just talk about what it felt like for you to be able to come up big for your team.
Man, it felt awesome. My journey has been pretty bumpy. There's been a bunch of highs and lows, but I couldn't thank God for, I couldn't be more blessed. I thank God for everything. I thank him for all the highs and lows. It's really made me the man I am today. It's taught me how to keep a smile on through adversity and through difficulties, and I couldn't be more thankful of that. I've learned a lot of lessons at this young age that I feel like a lot of people my age, haven't really been through yet. So for that, I'm thankful. But yeah, just talking about the game, like you said, 1-0, we won the game at Stanford. That's the main thing. But to go out there and have a good game, a long time coming. There's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes put into this. And I'm just super excited that it all came into fruition with the help of God on Friday night. And like I just said earlier, I couldn't be more blessed.
And it was also a team win. You had another guy out there, John Paul, who had 6 catches for over 100 yards. And then you also had Savion Williams, who had 11 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, there's more to that. But talk to me about that receiving core and how special it was to see everybody get a chance to eat against Stanford.
Yeah, for sure. Our receiving core, we're deep. We got all of us could play ball in that room. To just start off, though, with JP and Savion, those are 2 of my best friends. We're like this. Really our whole team is like this, but, especially us 3, we ride and die for each other. We'll all take a bullet for each other. We're our brother's keepers. We're going to do whatever it takes for that other person on the side of us to succeed, and it showed up in the game on Friday. Like you said, me and JP both over 100, but then you had Say, who led the team in receptions, had I think 86 yards. It was fun, and that's the plan for the rest of the season. Just keep that going.
Jack, you mentioned about, facing adversity, dealing with certain things throughout the season. Last year, you got to play in just 8 games and dealt with some injuries. What were those injuries that you were dealing with, and just how difficult was it to, deal with the injury, trying to bounce back and be there for your team at the same time?
Yeah, so my sophomore year at LSU, my leg got beat up a little bit, which kind of bled into my junior year. I couldn't really do spring workouts, couldn't do spring ball, couldn't really do summer workouts. Fall camp, my leg was still sore, so I couldn't do, I'm here because of one, God, and the hard work and the determination that he's put inside me and the mindset he's given me. That comes with, a bunch of extra work. First on the field, last on the leave, every day. Doesn't matter, rain, snow, sleet, hurricanes, whatever it may be. Just always trying to put in as much extra work as I can to just always get that edge. And I wasn't able to do that with my injuries. I was always still trying to catch extra balls, all the extra running reps with the QBs, footwork drills, sand pits, et cetera, et cetera. I wasn't able to do. And it took a toll on me mentally, physically. I felt like I wasn't the same. My confidence wasn't there. And then I got a high ankle sprain that ended up having to get tightrope surgery on my ankle, which kicked me out. But, I recovered from that quick. And, come spring of this year, come January of this year, I felt 100% healthy. Ankle wasn't bothering me, leg wasn't bothering me. I was able to get back to the basics, back to what I knew. I was able to work hard, put in extra time, put in extra reps with the QBs by myself late at night. I could do spring ball, had a great spring camp, worked super hard this summer, had a great fall camp, and now it's coming to fruition into the season. And like I always say, I just thank God for everything, for the opportunity, for putting me here. Because, like I said, He has a bigger plan and purpose for my life. The stories are already written up there, with the big man on top. So, I'm just happy that I can live out each day and continue writing this story.
Now, you just said it coming off an injury and having a big game like this from that leg injury. Was it like a sigh of relief after this game was over and you putting up those big numbers of saying that, hey, I can still play this game at a high level?
Yeah, well, like Kobe says, job not done. It feels good to go out there and do your thing, but we got to be consistent with it. That has to be week in, week out. You got to be able to come in and put that work in. You got to have great weeks at practice. You got to have a great game week after week, not just 1 week. So it was definitely a great feeling to do it, but I'm excited to be able to go out there and do it again on Saturday.
Jack, obviously, you guys as a team didn't get the results that you wanted on the field, finishing the season there at 5-7. Just talk about some of the things that you guys have, talked about behind the scenes that, nobody knows about, and the conversations that you guys have had in order to get yourselves in the positions where you want to be, which is to be a ranked program and competing for a national championship once again.
Yeah, I mean, when stuff like that happens, a fire gets lit. You got a fire that burns inside you. You got an expectation, you have a standard you live up to that was not met last year. We can't do that again, and we knew we couldn't do that again. And once January came upon us and we got other guys in from the transfer portal, who I want to say are all great dudes, like fit the program extremely well. I made best friends with a bunch of those guys. But we knew what our mission was, we knew what our standard was and what the expectation was, and that showed all the work we've been putting in the whole offseason. And we played a little sloppy Friday night, but it goes to show you that we can make so many mistakes, but we just have so much talent that we can pull off games, we can win those one possession games in the end. So once we clean up those little things, those little details, and don't play sloppy, and get back to the basics of being disciplined and detailed, we're gonna be dangerous.
Is that something that's unsaid, unspoken right now? National championship for you guys, or I know the political answer one game at a time, but is that spoken? Is that an unsaid thing for you guys right now?
Man, every time we touch the field, whether it be practice field, game field, every decision we make, or what we're putting in our bodies, it doesn't matter. That's our goal. That's our goal is to win a national championship. We don't put in all this work. We don't do all this just for nothing, just to go out here and say we played in a bowl game. We're coming out here to go win the big thing.
Could you talk a little bit about Coach Sonny Dykes, kind of what he is doing there in TCU, kind of helping to reestablish that culture and get you guys back in that championship picture? What has he meant to the program and for you as well?
Yeah, he's meant everything, giving me the opportunity out the portal to be able to come here to Texas Christian University and keep fulfilling my dreams of playing college football and to try to make it to the next level. He's given me a lot. His wife has been awesome. She's also a corner piece of this program. She does so much for the players. But yeah, no, Coach Dykes has been awesome. He's preached saying calm, cool, and collected, saying level-headed throughout the game. Doesn't matter. Pick, interception, touchdown, sack, fumble, whatever it may be, to just stay level-headed. And if we can do that, with all the talent we have on this team, the discipline we have, all the little details and nuances of the game, like I said earlier, we're going to be dangerous.
Now, you know, defense win championships. We're just talking about championships. What stands out about that defense that you guys have over there?
Oh, we got a new defensive coordinator and coach Andy Avalos. No, I've even though I'm an offensive player, I've developed a great relationship with him. He's been awesome and he's a beast. He loves sending the pressure, different twists off the D line with linebackers. He loves putting pressure on the QB, and that QB can never feel comfortable. Because if a QB can't feel comfortable, he can't get in a good rhythm during the game, and he does a heck of a job. We got so many dogs on defense. I mean, that whole field is full of dogs, all 11 of them, plus the ones that aren't on the sideline. They make it hard to get on the field here. They make everything a competition. Iron sharpens iron. We're a double-edged sword. So, no, he's been awesome.
You guys are playing there in the Big 12, and you got a lot of teams that you're gonna face off against that are, high-powered offenses and things like that. How important is it for y'all to continue to build up chemistry there on the offensive side of the ball to stay in games that could potentially be shootouts later down the line and be able to compete for a conference championship?
Yeah, we just have to do what we do. We stay to the basics of what we've been doing all off season, all fall camp, all spring ball. We just stick to the basics. The confidence is going to be there just because we know how much work we put in the off season. Winning that first game for any program is just huge to be 1-0 to start the season because of momentum, confidence, all these different things. But yeah, no, we just got to stay meshed up like we are. We just got to stay doing everything together like we do and be our brother's keeper.
Now, outside of football, man, I know you're a Louisiana man. You're down there in Texas, North Texas now. Are you ready to trade in some gumbo for some barbecue out there?
Well, the lucky thing is I got my aunt and uncle that live out here that live about 30, 45 minutes, and my aunt can whip it up. She's from down Louisiana near Baton Rouge and all that. So she knows how to whip up a nice gumbo, nice gravies, crawfish, etouffee, things like that. So, I got blessed. I got lucky that they're right around the corner. So whenever I need me a home cooked meal, I just head down over that way.
Absolutely,
And that
man.
potato salad off the wall.
Yeah. I feel you on that, man. I guess, for you, being kind of immersed there in the culture around Texas, man, like, was it a kind of a culture shock to you at all? Or was it, I'm just coming in to play football and, everything else will kind of take care of itself?
Yeah, I would definitely say what you said second. I was coming here to play football and everything else is going to take care of itself. But I would also say, it's like anything. I've lived in Louisiana my whole life. I lived in Lafayette my whole life before Baton Rouge. So just going across that Chafalaya 45 minutes was a big change for me. So, going to Texas was a big change for me. But I knew that it takes time, but after some time that, everything was going to start feeling like home again. You're going to meet people, make new best friends that you're going to have the rest of your life. I have my aunt and uncle out here, and my uncle's one of my best friends. He coached for the Cowboys for 10 plus years, and he played in the NFL. So, I'm with him all the time, just learning and picking up as much as I can. He's teaching me different things, about all things, not just ball, but about life. And no, like I was saying, it's definitely, I don't know if I would say culture shock, but there's always a getting used to, But it's been great. Like I said earlier, I love Texas. It's great, especially the DFW is awesome.
Now,
They got good soul food out here too.
now, now I know that you was able to play some SEC football as well, as long as now you're in the Big 12. I mean, everybody gets to play everybody this year. Everybody gets to see one another, conferences, teams like that, whether you get to the playoffs or not. Can you talk to me? What is the difference between that Big 12 and that SEC football?
Yeah, I would say really the only thing that's different for real is like more like, and it's not even every team, but I would say just overall, every team talking, not just like a couple. I would say just really the trenches, like the O&D line. But besides that, you go see opening week, you see these SEC teams losing all over the place. To all these different teams. So I would really say it's the trenches, the wide receivers, the DBs, the skill players, the quarterbacks, running backs, linebackers, safeties, all those positions, it's really, really honestly like we're all out here balling, doing our thing. But I would really just say the trenches. I would probably say just overall on average are probably a little bigger, but besides that, nothing really.
I got you, man. Well, I think the last thing that I have for you, when you look at the receivers that come from the Acadiana area, Malik went there in the top 10. Keon Coleman gets drafted. You got Trey Harris over there at Ole Miss, yourself. What does it say about the Acadiana area, not just the talent that it garners, but the pass catchers, the guys, every time when you hear people describe the type of receivers that come from Lafayette, Opelousas, wherever, they always say that these guys are dogs. They have a different determination about them, and they're just different. What is it about you guys from the area when it comes to catching the football?
Man, being from South Louisiana, we got dogs. It's really the whole state, but definitely that South Louisiana. That's all we do is play football. We have to go get it. Especially that Lafayette kid in the area. It's really overlooked until like really like our class is my class and maybe the class or so before. But before that, I mean, we were just overlooked. So we really have to go out there and make a statement. Every week you have to go to camps, ball out to get that national spotlight. Once we did get that national spotlight, like you said, you come find the guys, Keon Coleman, Malik, you got Trey Harris, you got me. You got so many guys right now that's balling on a big stage. They're just going to keep coming. We've always been there. The guys in the past just didn't get the opportunity that we got, but we've always been there. Like I said, being from that South, you really go get it from nothing. You get out the mud. You work for everything you got. Nothing is given to you, and you don't take anything for granted. You go out and you get everything, and that's why we're such dogs. That's why we don't lose. We don't like losing. That's why we hate losing them more than we love winning, just because we got to go get it every day.
Absolutely, man. Well, that has been TCU wide receiver Jack Bech hopping here on the Fitz Take podcast. Jack, good luck to you on the rest of the season, man, as the Horned Frogs will face off against LIU this upcoming Saturday there at 6 o'clock. Jack, appreciate you so much, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed week.
With Thursday, NFL football is definitely coming back. I'm excited. I'm pretty sure Jamarcus is excited. But at the end of the day, we all know Fitz and I can talk football all day. But I wanted to quiz Fitz on the cities of the games that we'll see first on Thursday and Friday. Thursday will be in Kansas City. Friday, the Eagles will take on the Panthers in Germany. Now, let's go to this. We all know that he could talk numbers. We could tell you Patrick Mahomes is this all day and whatever. But I got to ask Fitz some questions about each city and see did he know it. Now, we'll start off with Philadelphia. They're the city of brotherly love, right? What is Kansas City's nickname?
I'm about some barbecue. I know that. Gotta be. It might not be no good game, boy. I'm gonna be guessing horribly.
That's what it is. So okay. All right. Do you want multiple choice?
Yeah. Give me multiple choice. That'll help a lot better. A whole lot better.
I give you that. The city of barbecue. The city of the Chiefs, city of fountains, and the city of the brave.
Let's go with the city of fountains. Let's go with that one.
Okay, you're right about that one. You're right about that one. Now, also staying in Germany. Now, Germany, for Philadelphia and Green Bay, Philadelphia is known for they call it cheesesteak. I call it steak and cheese. And Green Bay is known for their cheese. What is a Germany snack that is known everywhere?
Well, what's my answers? Well, I don't know what they be eating in Germany. Like what? What?
You got a German. You got a German waffle. You got a schnitzel. You got a beaten egg, and you got a toast.
You said Wiener Schnitzel?
No, just a
or
schnitzel.
just Schnitzel?
Just a schnitzel.
I'm gonna say Schnitzel, only because of Chowder, that old show. I remember that was on Cartoon Network back when we was kids. I don't know if that's true or not, but that sound about right.
Yeah, I got you. That's true. That's true. So you guys
Yeah,
2 for 2.
yeah, we 2 for 2, baby. Yeah.
All right, so Baltimore. I know you've
All
been.
right.
They're known for their crab legs and Old Bay seasoning. What
Mm-hmm.
food is Kansas City known for?
Barbecue.
All right,
I
cool.
don't even need multiple choice for that one.
You
They
didn't.
be
That's why
going
I
hard
was
with.
gonna give it to you. And then my
Hey, bro,
last
you better
one.
come up with some harder questions, boy.
This one right here. This one gonna get you. The first NFL game played in Germany was between these two teams. You got the Cowboys and Saints. You got the Raiders and Chargers. You got the Giants and Eagles. And you got the Rams and Chiefs.
See,
Giants and Eagles?
yeah.
It was the Rams. It was the Rams and Chiefs, man. Come on, bro. You could have went 4 for 4, bro.
Oh man.
You could have went 4.
Hey, 3 out of 4, boy. That's 7. That's a C. That's a C. But hey, we did it though. Yeah.
Hey, you made me laugh with the schnitzel. You like,
But I don't know what they be eating over there. Shoot, I guess.
then my last question to you. You got to give me a score prediction for each game. You got to give me one for the Packers and Eagles and one for the Ravens and the Chiefs. What's your score predictions?
Packers and Eagles. I'm going to say 24-20. Eagles, and then you said Chiefs Ravens.
Chiefs Ravens.
Oh. Kind of feel like that's going to be a defensive battle. People are going to be expecting to see a lot of offense, but it's week 1 and it's on a Thursday. I'm going to say 17-10 Chiefs.
That's a low scoring. That's real low scoring, bro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be some defense going on. So we shall see. We shall see. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our final take, which is the Fitz Take. And we are truly switching it up this time, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Elijah are both avid fans of the Power Universe. Shout out to 50 Cent and Courtney Kemp, the minds of 2 amazing people that were able to put this together. And the final episodes of Power Ghost will premiere on Friday. For people like me, Thursday at 11, right? So I know that when we ended off everything, there was a lot of stuff going on for the Tejada family. Tariq found out that he finna be a daddy. Whole lot of stuff going on. So, Elijah, what are your predictions for the finale, the final season of Power Ghost?
Mine's is off the wall.
Okay.
It's off the wall. This is how I see it. Either Ghost comes back or Braden kills Tariq.
Why would he kill him though?
I see Braden killing Tariq because of all the betrayal that started to lead up in Braden's head. You know, Braden felt like he gave everything for Tariq. You know, when he was in the courthouse, when he started selling the drugs, now he's like getting hooked on the cocaine. I think he's eventually starting to show that he's about to turn on Tyreek. And I think that may be the end for him because, honestly, Braden is not a killer like Tyreek is. But everybody got a point and a limit. And I think Braden's going to hit that limit with Tyreek in this season because I feel like, he does everything for him. He shoves everything aside. He makes sure Tyreek and his stuff go first. And I think he's going to hit that wall, especially with that girl that he's dealing with now. She's probably going to egg him on to do something that he shouldn't do, and he probably will regret that he does. But I think he would probably kill Tyreek if Ghost doesn't come back and whatever saves the day with them. So I think that it may be over for Tyreek, and Braden may be the guy going forward.
I think that sounds pretty good, but I think that the way that a lot of this show is written is that things are paralleled with the same way that Ghost and Tommy were, right? Tommy started playing with his nose too.
He did.
and it was him doing it with Holly and all that stuff like that. I think Brayton is gonna end up killing that girl. I think he's gonna kill that girl because his love for Tariq is just so deep. Like he for that boy. You know what I'm saying? I think what's gonna happen is that Tariq is going to be cornered with the Tejadas. They're going to be in a compromising situation because it's a ceasefire going on between them right now because of the baby being involved. I think they're going to get cornered by Michael Ealy's character, the cop, who what kind of backwards Robin Hood is he? You can sell all the drugs you want to, you just better not kill no civilians. You better sell all them dime bags and all that cocaine. But the first little innocent boy get killed, I'm on you. Did he want money from him? Like,
He got a cut. He getting a cut.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, what what in the Robin Hood? What are you talking about?
Hey, man. It's all dirty cops in this series. That's what I learned.
Hey, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. He says sell all the drugs, all of it. Sell as much as you possibly humanly can. Push it as far as you can. But the first time that you shoot a little boy that ain't got nothing to do with this, I'm shutting it all down, and I'm acting like I didn't know you. Like, come on, bro, what are we talking about? I think Michael Ealy's character is going to have them in a compromising situation, and I do think Ghost might come back, and I think Ghost will be able to manipulate it some kind of way. I'm gonna throw some razzle dazzle in it. He's a politician somewhere in another state with a different name, so he's gonna come in and override it some kind of way. Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that, bro. I can see that. What's the lady name that he was supposed to run away with?
Ramona. Was it Ramona Garrity? Or I know her first name was Ramona, but yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Like,
damn, bro, that should be straight. That should be straight.
I think this series is going to end with a bang, but I also think that this is not going to be the last part of the Power universe because you got to think too. This is the series finale of Power Ghost, and then Power Force is also set to end its last season whenever it comes back. Which this is September now. They got 4 or 5 episodes, so this will take us to October, depending on how they space it out. You still got Raising Kanan that's supposed to come back. You have Force that's coming back, and then BMF, which is not a part of the Power series. So these shows got to start lining up in the way that they're filming them, because once you have a break, you're going to have a little time off before the next one start to roll in. Power Force, Power Ghost, I think with them ending at the same time, a new series is going to start. I don't know what it's going to be called. 50 always got something in the works. He's always working on something. He's a brilliant businessman with the way that he does things. So I'm sure that another series is on the horizon. Because you got to keep giving us something, bro. Like, the Power universe can't just end.
No.
You got to keep it going some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be interested to see how things wrap up for Tariq and company. He's now a father. He's got a little baby on the way. You know what I'm saying? But that's another twist too.
I don't think that baby his.
That baby might not be his. He might not be the baby.
I don't think that baby his, bro.
Might be what that boy name, Salim or whatever his real name was.
I think it's
Tariq. That's another thing too. We gotta talk about that real quick. Tariq was acting real reckless because he killed that boy in the house. He ain't look for no cameras. Sometimes I don't know if it's like they don't write that in thinking about it, or if it's like they're leaving it for something else. But it's like, bro, if I come and kill you in your house, it's gonna be some kind of evidence. I'm sure you have a camera, something, a Ring camera, something there to pick up on the fact somebody came in my house and they found me dead, and I was the last person to come in there before you was found dead. Like, come on, man. There's no way that's gonna come back some kind of way. That's got to come back.
Unless he try to blame it on Diana. Remember, Diana didn't go back out the same way she came in.
That's true, but like, I don't know, man. How did Tariq get in the house? Did he go through the front door?
He went through the front door. He knocked on the door, whatever. He let him in. Boom. I don't know.
Can't remember. Gonna have to go back and watch. Gonna have to catch up before Friday. Gonna be
Yeah,
7 p.m. Friday.
I just remember that Diana didn't go the same way she came out because remember he took the car and went out the back. She went out the back door. So unless he tried to break down that.
True. We definitely will be seeing what it is. We'll be probably getting done with Friday night football, and be probably watching Power right there in the well, no, because if I watch the show without James,
I'm watching
Thursday. That's right, Thursday. I don't know what I'm talking about, boy. I'm gonna be like 11 o'clock. This is a big rich town.
Yeah, Thursday. I'm watching Thursday, man.
I just come from the post. Hey, boy, that's got to be like top 3 greatest show intro songs ever. Cause soon as that mud hit,
hold on, name your top 3.
oh man, Full House is in there. Power. Because I'm trying to think all eras, bro. Full House is a classic. Whatever happened to the boy? Come on. Man, let me keep thinking about that. Full House and Power is 2 of them in there,
Oh,
in
man,
no particular order.
Power didn't make mine.
Who you got?
I got Jamie Foxx at number 1. Will you hear that Jamie Foxx show? Come on, that it's the simple thing. What? That Jamie Foxx one, come on. And then, hey, this may not be number 2, but it got to go with number 3. That half and half, that finding you and finding me. No, man. But half and half, the Jamie Foxx show number 1.
I'm not moved by Half and Half's theme song.
Let me see. Then probably my last one. Let me see.
That might be hard on the spot, bro. Pause.
I mean, you gotta throw in probably Fresh Prince because it's just a classic.
Oh yeah. That's the other one.
It's classic.
Fresh Prince, Full House, and doggone Power. Them 3. That's
and then the
3
honorable mention. Listen, I ain't really watched the show like that, but when it came on, you heard it. My girlfriend's mine. Yeah. Hey, she was harmonizing that thing, bro.
I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give you my honorable mention. Sister, the one with the remix when they was older. Sister. Sister, I got my own mind.
I take mine's back. I take mine's honorable mention back. Proud Family.
Oh, that's a good one. But hey, bro. Hey, them some cold little lineups for real though. I can't lie. But Power is just something about that. They say this is a big rich town.
But that's not my favorite one that he had.
Which one you like?
The one was Kanan's. When that part come on,
hey, that dude go hard. Yeah, that dude go hard. I know heartbreak.
Yeah,
that crap out. Shut up. Hey,
that's
bro.
my favorite one, bro. When I hear that, as soon as I hear that, I'm a hustler, baby. I'm like, ooh, that is.
You know what? Now that I think about it, all them theme songs kind of hard. Because even Force, it's a little slower. Yeah. But how it go? Power, respect. Yeah. I want that money and powder. That mother go hard too. Hey, hey, don't play with it now. And boy, if he don't do nothing else, he gonna come up with some theme songs, and it's gonna hit. Hey, you remember when they was it Trey Songs that they let remix at one time and they played it?
It was Trey Songs. It was 50. It was somebody else, but they tried. He said he tried to do it for the newer generation.
And people was like, "No, put the other one."
You didn't play no games.
Get the other one back on there.
You play no games. Well, you know what's another good one? BMF.
Oh yeah, with Charlie Wilson on there.
Charlie Wilson,
I got
yeah.
everything on the line. I've been on the ground trying to get mine. Yeah, bro.
But as soon as he hit that end, wish me luck, yeah. I'm like, yeah, boy, yeah, Charlie. Yeah.
Them some good ones, bro. Shout out to 50, man, the mind of 50, the musical genius, the mastermind behind all these great shows that we're watching, and we're gonna be tapped in for it. So the college football weekend, we got power, we got a lot of stuff helping us to round things out for this next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap this episode up here in this midweek edition of the Fitz Take podcast. Once again, please subscribe to the page here on YouTube so you will know when we drop every episode. Hey, eventually, y'all, matter of fact, y'all tell us down in the comments, do y'all want us to start doing live reaction shows? And we might dabble into a little bit of that. I think we are at 40 subscribers right now. So if you're out there, if you are consuming our content in any way, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, bro, just hit the button. It don't take that long. It don't take that long. Hit the little button, subscribe to the channel, and we will appreciate all the love so we can continue to give y'all all this great content. Follow myself and Elijah Nixon over on our social media pages. They will be linked down in the description. Follow my media company, production company, One Way Productions on Instagram as well. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in to the Fitz Take podcast. Signing out for Elijah Nixon. I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, and we will see y'all on Monday. Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.